Hey, I'm NichBoy and welcome to Pocket for Wednesday, the 3rd of August. Today on the show, lounging around, flavor kills, and Goose's opinion, minus the goose. It's the best of both worlds, as long as we can get rid of the goose opinion. Alright, here's what's been making headlines. And first up, CSGO Lounge, the top Counter-Strike skin gambling website, wants to go legit. Overnight, the site published a statement about their plans to comply with Valve's cease and desist notice. Quote, "The situation is highly confusing. We are not offering games of luck. We are not offering any transactions with real money or equivalents," reads the statement. Despite those facts, in order to avoid or reduce the confusion, we have decided to acquire a license to legally operate in most of the countries and to be able to accept esports bets by our community as if it would be real money. So their angle is to formalize the business by becoming a legally recognized gambling entity. And it's an interesting solution, particularly given that it has nothing to do with Valve's demands. Valve's attack is hinged on the fact that these sites leverage Steam accounts to conduct their business, breaching the Steam subscriber agreement, which specifies that Steam and its services are, quote, licensed for personal, non-commercial use only. It's like they didn't even read Valve's letter. Moving on, and Overwatch is embracing the Summer Olympics in the same way the Zika virus embraces your healthy cells. Blizzard has introduced a new mode to their competitive shooter which sees teams of Lucios facing off in a sport much like Rocket League, except instead of cars, it's humans that kick the ball around. Car soccer with people? It'll never work. The Summer Games update also includes 100 plus new on-theme cosmetic items. The mode is live until the 22nd of August when the real-world Olympics end and everyone dies. Sticking with Blizzard, sort of. And Activision have commenced MMO cross-pollination, with players discovering that Destiny's exotic weapons vendor Xur is referenced in the latest version of World of Warcraft. The pre-Legion update brought with it a lot of changes, and one of them happens to be a Destiny Easter egg. There's a vendor in Dalaran called Xurius, who serves the same function as his Destiny counterpart, trading a rotation of rare items for unique currency. And finally, Ubisoft have formally announced that a Division film is on the way. They somehow managed to rope Jake Gyllenhaal back into one of their films, which is surprising because he was in that shitty Prince of Persia movie.
No doubt one of my many flaws.
Please don't mock me, Prince.
He'll be joined by Jessica Chastain on the mean streets of pandemic New York. All right, now it's time for Thing of the Day. Head it.
Anyway, our next item happens to be... One moment. Hello? Okay. It's time for Thing of the Day.
Thing of the Day. Finding himself in a 1v5 scenario in CSGO, Flavor Daniel went into rampage mode and managed to beat the odds.
Nice. One cap. Holy shit, dude! Oh my god,
Did you
nice! You aced everybody!
It's time for Thing of the Day.
Thing of the Day. Alright, last night on Good Game, Goose had an IMO about Pokemon Go, but Goose is not in the office today. In fact, he's not even in the country, so we brought in other professional opinion holder Gog to fill his shoes.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. I don't have glasses or a flannel shirt, so I'm not sure I can really have the same level of opinion as Gus.
Well, it's funny you say that because I did bring glasses for you. Yeah, that's pretty close. You got the beard, and I feel like you're dressed how Goose thinks poor people dress. So I think that you've balanced it out well.
Excellent.
Now, essentially yesterday, Goose's argument was that despite Pokemon Go being buggy, feature poor, and barely a game, he can't stop playing it. In fact, the reason he's not here right now is because he's in Europe catching Pidgeys with accents. Pidgeois.
Perhaps.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
You have slipped into just like pompous, like entitled. Stop it. No, stop it. It's freaking me out. Stop it. His main point was that he's concerned about the market being flooded with cheap imitations and that major studios will divert energy towards this genre of games and therefore will distract from AAA titles. Now, before we get started, broadly speaking, GOG, just for now, do you agree with this ridiculous broad statement?
Not really. I mean, it's a very loose argument. I don't know what I'm agreeing or disagreeing with necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrible game. I don't really mind if other people make AR games.
Yeah.
It'd be good if they make better AR games.
Yes.
But they shouldn't try and copy Pokemon Go. I agree and disagree on various points.
All right.
So largely no. I disagree, I think.
Hedging your bets. Also something that is classic Goose, so I'll put those back on for you. Our first comment comes in from Jordan Bryant, who says, "Come on, Goose. Pokemon Go is free. It's providing millions of users with great fun and nostalgia. It's getting people walking, and you are worried about crappy spin-offs? If you applied your logic to other technology, we would still be playing Commodore 64s. Unlike you, to not embrace evolving technology due to fear of diversion of resources. I know the Wii U was sold poorly, but it's the most fun I've had since the N64. Diversifying gaming will make it more accessible to the public and be better for the games industry. Are you even excited for VR?" So there's a lot here.
There's a lot, yeah.
Goose,
Yeah.
and feel free to do whatever you want to his reputation.
I'm gonna throw him under the bus.
Do you agree with this idea that that we've started poorly with Pokemon Go, but that doesn't mean that it will continue poorly? Like, it's going to evolve like the Pokemon you're catching.
I mean, absolutely. Like, without a doubt, you look at stuff like HoloLens. That's pure augmented reality, and it's a bulky thing at the moment. It's not even out yet. But give it 20 years, that's going to be in something like this. You're going to have augmented stuff all around you. It's going to be awesome. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like that's actually what you want for this. And seeing Ubisoft go, we were very impressed with Pokemon Go, and we're interested in that space. I kind of think that's a good thing, because Niantic are a tiny sort of like. They're not this giant video game developer. I mean, they are now, but they weren't before. And it's kind of like they made this game that didn't have as many features as it could have, but because they didn't necessarily have all the resources and stuff behind it, and then it just blew up. And so now they're scrambling to make it the game that they want to make. But if you start a game with a bunch of money, then I feel like you're already off on a better foot there.
Absolutely. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what kind of, if Ubisoft's actually going to make a game, and what kind of thing they're going to do with it. I think Goose's fear that they just copy Pokemon Go is valid.
Yep.
You don't just want an Assassin's collect Assassin's Ezio's or whatever.
Yeah, open chests or something.
Whatever like that.
You want what you want. Can I tell you what you want?
Yeah.
You want to open up your Assassin's Creed app when you're out at like a university campus or down in a mall, and you want to find targets that you have to kill.
Yeah, other people playing the game.
Yeah, and then you have to go over to and then you want to kill them.
Yeah.
That feels like a good idea for a Ubisoft game.
Virtually kill people, not really.
Really?
Not really.
Goose would want to kill real people.
Yeah, well, he would.
Our next comment comes in from Black
illegal.
Scarecrow, who he doesn't care about the law. He does not care. Black Scarecrow says, "If such an unpolished, buggy, consistently crashing mess with the Pokemon name and branding behind it can cause this much of a worldwide craze, imagine what a deep, challenging, and satisfying game would be like. To me, Pokemon Go seems like a AAA game made by a very small dev studio. The game relies on players' enthusiasm to be fun and popular. If it didn't have the Pokemon name behind it, it would have been lucky to be downloaded 100 times.
True. I mean, their other app is very niche, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was
popular, but it's not.
Yeah, Ingress, which it was the same sort of idea of tapping into Google Maps to complete AR stuff, but it's a game not a huge amount of people played, but you put Pokemon behind it, boom.
Yeah, massive. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential for AR games to be really deep and interesting, I think. And they don't necessarily just have to be, this kind of wandering around thing. They, the sky's the limit. As within 2 seconds of thinking of an Assassin's Creed game, we've got some interesting mechanics coming up.
Yeah,
like
killing people.
Virtually killing people.
And I feel like, obviously Pokemon is kind of the perfect IP for this. It can evolve into, this could be the new version of Pokemon, that eventually Pokemon just becomes this game, but completely fleshed out and really interesting.
I think people would be sad if Pokemon just became Pokemon Go, because I know there's a few diehard Pokemon people in the office who are just like, it's rubbish. I just want a good Pokemon game.
They just want to keep that terrible Pokemon gameplay. Our final comment for you, Goose, comes in from Bronwyn Wills, who says, "I'm very excited about implications AR will have in the world outside of gaming. Pokemon Go has been a great way to learn about various landmarks around Adelaide, so I can just imagine what it would be done for the tourism industry where similar things could develop."
Yeah.
Which is a great point.
Absolutely. And I mean, even just speaking about outside the world, they've already sent HoloLenses up into the International Space Station.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much potential for people to be able to communicate over long distances, show you how to fix a space station from the ground, see what someone else is seeing. Like, it's amazing in terms of education and all kinds of things, what they could do with it.
As someone who is wearing a stupid pair of glasses right now, do you remember Google Glass?
Yeah, I never tried it.
Were you excited for it when it got announced?
To a degree.
Because I was nuts for it. I went, this is exactly what I want. Put my phone in front of my face so I don't need to interact with it. And then it kind of just died off. It just never became something.
Where did it go?
Yeah, they iterated on it and then they removed it and and I'm not sure where it is right now.
But it come back bigger and better. Probably.
Well, that's the thing that you look at Pokemon and it's done way more for AR than Google Glass did, and I think it's because it didn't start as ambitious. It didn't start with like, we're going to be your entire phone up here. We're just going to be this game. And I think that, Bronwyn's saying that have discovered interesting things about Adelaide. The tourism implications are great. It's like virtual guides and that sort of thing. But all sorts of like ways of being able to hold your phone up and, I want that world where I can hold my phone up on a shopping mall and it pops up all the names of the stores and like what is, what's sold where and that sort of thing, so that I can go, oh, I want a coffee shop. Okay, that's a coffee shop down there.
Yeah.
That's because I don't want to have to wander down. That's the thing. I don't want to walk down.
No.
And even though Pokemon Go is encouraging walking, I want to get away from that.
Or if you could have something like, so many times I go to supermarkets and I'm just like, I can't find the cling wrap or something, and it's like I'm looking down the aisles and it's not there. But if you have an app, you pull it up and it's like doo-doo-doo-doo.
Exactly.
To it.
Yeah, just lead you right to that cling wrap. Why do you need so much cling wrap?
My dog keeps eating keeps eating the rolls.
Wait, so are you feeding it to your dog?
No, like I go to bed and then like we put it away somewhere and then he gets it and destroys it. And then,
Cheeky.
yeah.
Cheeky. I mean,
cheeky dog.
Goose has a cat, so can you just change that to cat?
No, because I can't imagine my cat doing that.
Yeah, that's probably a good choice. All right, that is it for today's episode of Pocket My Pocketeers. Goose, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Let me know about your opinions on the opinions we gave about Goose's opinion in the comments. Let me know what you think about Joe as Goose. Personally, I think it's an improvement.
Gog, Goose.
Yeah, it's pretty
a few
close.
letters away.
Pretty close. He's never coming back from Europe anyway. That's where he belongs. Also, while you're on the internet, check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and IView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at Good Game TV. Follow Pocket at NichBoy at Pierre at GG at Monkey and at Sam Game. He's at
Gog McGee.
Yeah, you still not using that?
Not really.
What if I put it in your glasses?
No.
Okay. You know who does tweet though?
Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you should get on that.
Can I like hack into his account? And
I reckon we could
and
figure
just,
out his password.
Besmirch his good name even more.
Yeah.
Good.
I reckon
it's
he's
a good name to start off with though.
I reckon his
Let's be honest.
password is Maple Oak.
It's probably Peter Sexy.
Peter Sexy _ Maple Oak. Today's Thing of the Day graphic was made by Usual Mike. If you are Usual Mike, thank you very much for sending that in. If you're not Usual Mike and you have made a Thing of the Day, please send it in. If you haven't made one, get on it. Until tomorrow, Nick, bye out.
Gog out.
No.
Goose out. Sorry.
There you go. There you go. Okay, let's go commit a crime.
Don't think it works like that.
It does. You won't
Yeah.
get arrested. If we get away,
It's one of your Assassin's Creed crimes.
yeah, because the witnesses are going to be like, it was a guy wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Goose.
But he has a pretty good alibi of being in Europe. It's pretty good.